All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy. And a couple days ago on stream, I built up Molecule, man. We blew through 90 million gold and got him up to level 60. And I've been trying to get his potential ever since. And I had a couple people hit me up on Discord asking me how I'm liking Molecule, man, so far. Owen Reese, because they know I was very hyped. I was very hyped when I saw that this guy was coming to the game, because he signified that basically no character was off limits and anything was possible, because in the comics he's beyond broken. However, after playing with him, I can't lie to you guys. Well, rather, I won't lie, because that's not what we do here. I am very unimpressed damage wise. Right, he has a lot of effects on his kit overall, but I think everything here basically signifies that he was designed for PvP. He was designed to be the new meta, to take over from Jean Grey, Silver Surfer, Thanos, Dormammu even, right? To basically take over from those characters, and him and Sentry is supposed to bring us into the new age, right? When we get the Beyonders and the Eternals and all them guys, right? That's what I'm seeing here. For World Boss content, so far at least, he seems very underwhelming. He seems like one of the weakest tier 2 natives damage-wise that I've built in a very long time. Now keep in mind, right? He's only level 60, and he does have a tier 3, which gives him a significant attack buff. The biggest attack buff we've ever seen, 120% all attack for 20 seconds plus 50% more defense. I do think he needs the defense as well, because even though he has some damage reduction in his kit, he dies very easily. However, let's go ahead and take a look at his skill set. I'll talk to you guys a little bit, and then we'll take him into some gameplay so you can see I'm not really exaggerating. Now, for me, he might be underwhelming. For you, he may perform as you expect from a level 60 character, but for a tier 2 native, again, a character that is extremely overpowered in the comics, I expected great things from him even before he got his tier 3. Especially since he's probably not going to get a uniform for a while, if ever, right? But we'll see. Anyways, so tier 2 passive, he revives when he dies up to 80% of his max HP. Not the greatest, right? Jean can revive with full HP, so yeah, that was also something he should have been able to do. First skill, it looks really cool. We'll take a look at it in the preview, but not really a skill I use and see myself using very often, so I just left it at 3 just to conserve on gold, because these big boys, these tier 2 natives, that's like 500,000 a pop, right? I have a lot of gold, but I blew through half my reserve building up characters in this past update. I went from almost 500 million down to 237. Now I have been building some other characters on the side to make World Boss Null a bit better for myself, but it is what it is. Still very expensive to build this guy. I built up this skill because I do think it is very cool, and it has an iframe on it. The third skill, this is where all the effects start to come into play, and this is where you kind of see that he was designed for PvP. So we have the Big Bang, incapacitation, and he decreases all attacks by 50% for 10 seconds. That's very important because the cooldown on the skill itself is 10 seconds. So essentially you keep this up all the time, especially if you have max skill cooldown, because then the cooldown time on the skill is actually go down to 5 seconds. So even if they have debuff removal won't last forever, so there will be periods of the fight when the enemy's attacks has been lowered up to 50%. Very good, very dangerous. Plus, it's a very cool looking skill, very reminiscent of the comics, and it gives him damage immunity, full immunity rather, because 100% chance to be immune for 5 seconds with a 5-second cooldown. Guess what? He's fully immune unless you have penetration. Let's move on, right? Next skill here, we have paralysis, and it ignores immunity, so it applies in World Boss. It's 2 seconds, right? This skill also is on a 10-second cooldown, which means it's realistically 5 seconds once you get your cooldown maxed out. This is insane, right? He has these really cool buffs that last for anywhere from 2 seconds to 10 seconds, and you can put them up every 5 seconds. It's nuts, right? So basically every 5 seconds this guy can give himself 20% max HP, and he has the ability to penetrate super armor, barrier, shield, all damage immunity, and invincibility for 10 seconds. So basically all the time he has these buffs active, and if they get stripped from him, he can reapply them every 5 seconds. Very, very, very good, right? I kind of see why they didn't want to give him the full recovery, because he's going to be healing himself for 20% of his max HP every 5 seconds you use the skill, right? It's just nuts. And literally, then we have his wormhole wave. It has time freeze. We know how time freeze works, and this skill is on a 7-second cooldown, longest skill cooldown time in his entire kit. You know what this means, right? With a skill set like this, he was designed to be played with something like a rage if you want to use him in PvE content, because you can spam the skills and get to your tier 3 really, really fast. So this 20-second cooldown time on the 120% all attack buff, you might be able to like just keep this skill, the skill effect up all the time. So maybe that's why they deliberately made him so much weaker at tier 2, to basically, I guess, force you or give you like a nudge to say, hey, if you want this guy to be the monster that you know and love from the comics, you got to invest more into him, and you got to go to tier 3. I'd have personally preferred if this was like a 70% attack buff and they put some more of that juice, some of that oomph, some of that power into the kit, right? Or just in the damage numbers themselves, because it kind of feels really bad that you have to go all the way to tier 3, right? Just to get really, really good damage. But it is what it is. Sometimes they do this, sometimes they don't. Overall, very good kit in terms of buffs and effects and the duration in which they last for, right? And then we have this right here, which decreases the effect of reflect, which is really good. And then it reflects physical reflect, which is crazy. Anyways, moving forward, we have his skill, his leadership ability, which is actually nuts, right? It decreases chain hit. By the way, I didn't even mention the fact that he has damage reduction, 50% damage reduction here, which is nuts, right? Because like I said, this reducing people's attack by up to 50% is gonna hit somebody and is gonna be up at some portion of the fight. Debuff immunity is not gonna be lasting forever, right? So at some point they're gonna be doing 50% less damage because their attack is lowered, and then he's gonna decrease the amount of damage they do to him even further because he has damage reduction. And then on top of that, he reduces the effect of chain hit damage. It's nuts. Like I'm telling you, everything in this kit was just built for PvP. And on top of that, he ignores damage increase and damage decrease between self and opposing factions. So in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, because it's kind of I guess a new thing at this point, effects like Mystique's support passive, they don't work when Molecule Man is the leader, right? So if you have a support character like Taskmaster, like Nick Fury, like Phil Coulson, like Mystique here, that increases damage against superheroes or supervillains, as long as the opponent that you're fighting in PvP has Molecule Man as their leader, those effects are just completely nullified for the most part, right? So just keep that in mind. That being said, let's take him into some wall boss here so you can see what his damage looks like. Honestly, I am underwhelmed. I will say that I am underwhelmed. I was expecting much greater things from him. So because he has defense down on his fourth skill, I like to use him with Dr. Voodoo because it's 60%. 60 is really good. It's not 80, it's not 70, but 60 is still above average. Average, they'll give 50% to a lot of characters. For Molecule Man, they decided to give him 60 to start, so that's pretty good. We'll see. Where's this guy? And then let's grab I guess we could use him with Phyla-Vell or Shuri. Let's try him with Shuri first, and then we'll see what kind of damage he can do. I just want to give him some ignore dodge strikers. I haven't been playing these bosses very much lately because, you know, it's all about null and the CCF drops. So max ignore dodge. Let's see what his damage looks like. So we're gonna go 4, 5, 3. I'm not even gonna use the rest of the kit because the cooldown times are so short. There's really no need. So we go 4, then we go 5, we go 3, We go 4. You can kind of see where he's not doing, like, the effects are super flashy, bro. Super flashy. But, like, in terms of damage, where is it? Right? You can see why they gave him like 120% all attack on his tier 3, right? You should be able to like build up the tier 3 really quickly. But it's kind of a it's kind of a shame. It's a really, like, I'm laughing because the damage is just abysmal. And this is with defense down as well, right? Like, this is a PvP character for true, like, honestly, for true, like, there's nothing here, man. Like, I know he's doing less damage because of this thing right here. Or is it this thing? But, like, come on, guys. Bro, this is WEBCAMS, man. Right? Like, all he has to do to get rid of you out of the Marvel universe is just think about it. Like, with a mere thought, right? With a mere thought, he can erase you from existence. So the fact that this is the kind of damage he's doing, bro, like, let me show you guys something. Let me go down to like a 50, bro. Just just to show you guys. We have 100% ignore dodge. Now, to be fair, right? He doesn't have the greatest build or nothing like that, but we have a fully awakened ISO set, giving him 40% all attack, right? It's a 120 proc. It's not the greatest, but come on, man. It's WEBCAMS, man, bro. It's WEBCAMS, man, right? The stats are pretty decent, right? I have some Urus on him. I have a couple Odin's Blessings, right? Because I am going to trick him out, right? Trick daddy. We're going to trick him out, but like, for real. He seems underwhelming, bro. He seems hella underwhelming. Like, now, some of you guys are gonna say don't use him with Voodoo because the defense down doesn't seem like it's making that big of a difference. But it's 60%, bro. It's 60%. And with a 10-second cooldown on this thing, right? Meaning 5 seconds, we should be able to keep the defense down up all the time. So he should be doing good damage, right? He should be doing good damage, but he's just not. It's a shame, man. It's a real big shame. Like, he seems hella weak. Like, he seems way weaker than Gladiator, bro. But maybe they did that on purpose because they didn't have any plans of giving Gladiator a tier 3 as soon as they did for this guy. Like, you can see it. Like, the damage is just lame, bro. Okay, we got caught there, but it's fine. He heals himself pretty frequently, so we don't really have to worry about like taking too much damage. Like, he can still die. Like, if the effects were not so flashy, bro, I would be cussing, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, do not build this guy unless you are going to take him all the way to tier 3, because a PvP character at level 60, no matter how good their kit is not gonna do anything for you in timeline. Like, you literally be building him as a leadership for like Sentry, and Sentry will be doing all the work, I guess. Like, that was a big spike of damage there. Well, a big spike compared to what he was doing before. But man, this is so lame, bro. Like, his damage is so underwhelming, right? Like, come on, and let me try him with like an actual regular leadership. I guess we could try him with Norman's leadership. I think that's the best thing we got now. Like, I know he's not a Dark Avenger. Oh wait, yeah, only works for Dark Avengers. I thought only Norman's passive was gonna work for Dark Avengers. So I guess we'll use the next best thing, which is this clown, right? Because he is a villain. But like, yeah, man, his damage is abysmal. Like, it's actually really bad. Oh gosh. Like, lots of effects, lots of buff, super cool animation, but no damage whatsoever. And I would not say just give him a rage at level 60. Nah, bro. Like, I'm not seeing no type of damage, bro. The damage is even lower without voodoo. You can see for yourself. Like, the skills are just so flashy, bro. But it's all flash and no substance. Come on, man. Like, we can heal back up from this, I think. And then if he dies, he can revive. So there's that. But, like, that is lame, bro. That is actually a joke. Whoever designed it and decided that this man at level 60 wasn't gonna do no type of damage, bro, I want to slap you in the back of the head. You hopefully knock some common sense into you. Like what is this, bro? Do you think everybody's gonna have resources, the stockpile to this as soon as they build him, get him all the way to tier 3, bro? Come on, man. If you're watching this and, like I said, if you don't have the intention of bringing him to tier 3, bro, or if you don't have the resources to do so, don't build him, bro. Don't build him. Okay, so we got some decent damage there. So it looks like once the defense down is up, if you proc on the 5th skill, which is going to be really difficult to proc with them because of the fact that the cooldown times are so short. So the skills are going to overlap a lot of times. So Rage is going to be like your best bet for PvE. But I would say you guys should wait to rage him out until you see how he performs at tier 3. Because if, like, the damage is really low now. So if a 120% damage increase from his tier 3 doesn't fix that, you don't want to give him a rage, okay? Here. So let me just say that. Just for curiosity, guys, let me see something here. It's been a long time since any of you guys have seen this character. It's been even longer since I've seen her myself. But I'm kind of curious. How is this going to work out? So, let's actually... I want to see, because the weakest... I would say the weakest tier 2 native in the game is Super Giant, right? So, let me see what Super Giant's damage looks like compared to... Molecule, man, bro. Just to give myself a gauge of how bad his damage is, bro. Because I do think it's bad. But I might just be like out of the loop, bro. I just want to see this. It's been ages since I've used this character outside of Shadowland. But like, let's see. Alright, so she did like no damage to the boss. Fair enough. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so he's not like Super Giant level. Okay, so that's good, right? But it's definitely not impressive, bro. It's not impressive for 60% defense down, bro. Nah, man. I feel like they on one, bro, for designing him so weak. I don't even know who I could compare him to. Now, let me try Phyla-Vel with him, because he doesn't have skill damage or bonus damage. So Phyla-Vel will buff him. The thing is, I don't have an insight on my Phyla-Vel. And I do have an insight on my my Shuri. Nope. Damage still seems whack, fam. Seems even lower with Shuri. I mean, with Phyla-Vel than it did with Shuri. Yeah, they dropped the ball on this one, guys. Real talk. I don't know what these guys are on, bro. Bro, they dropped the ball, man. They fumbled, boys. They fumbled hard with this, man, bro. WEBCAMS, man. No, thank you, fam. Like, you are literally a disappointment to me right now. Like, I could go in. You know what? I will go in. I'll show you guys. Like, Norman could do like 2 bars in like no time, right? Now I know this guy is level 62, he has a uniform and all that jazz, so I'm not trying to compare them per se, right? But I'm just trying to get a gauge for damage, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not looking great, man. It's not looking great. All right, let me just do 3, then 4, then 5, so we don't get guard broken and we can flex. Okay, so I got guard broken, so we transition into the 5. I don't know, I don't think it looked that much better than him. Okay, that looked pretty good. Yeah, I'm disappointed, guys. I'm not gonna keep you guys here all day, man. I am very much so disappointed with Molecule, man, compared to some of the other characters I've tested in this update, even at level 60, man. I think him and Dakin, in terms of damage, bro, like, he was just not there. Like, Ares performed optimally, Bullseye performed good, she performed excellent. He's the one, right? So of course he's like above God tier. Scorpion, solid, right? Big Mac. But then these two, man, they just kind of like felt whack. Now I know there's a uniform in the pipeline for this man, and I know he has his tier 3 coming up. But I don't know, man. I feel like they should not have put all his damage, if that's the case, right? If that 120% all attack makes up for the fact that he has no damage on the base kit, cool. But at the end of the day, I don't like this design, right? He also has no like accumulation or nothing like that on his tier 3, so I do think even at tier 3 he's probably still gonna be a PvP character. So be careful, right? Be careful before you go ahead and give him like a rage and then find out that you'll be better off giving that rage to somebody like Medusa, Black Bolt, Odin. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna wrap it up right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your first impressions are of Molecule, man. Mine, not that good. Honestly, at level 60, kind of seems like a dud. Honestly, seems like one of the weakest tier 2 natives I have built in a while. That's a shame, because I do think he was supposed to be a force to be reckoned with in any piece of content you put him in, as soon as you build him up to where he could be used in endgame content. Maybe not completely crushing it, but definitely not garbage for the investment. That's just my 2 cents. I'm gone.